really trying to drive lots and lots of downloads of our app. So with Social Radar, we're looking to fundamentally change the way people meet and connect, but we need users before we can do that. And so how does a startup social network use social networks to make connections and build community? So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to run through a few things. You guys are probably better experts than myself, so maybe we can have some good conversation afterwards to talk about some of the cool things that we're doing. So when building a social strategy, there are two things that I always keep in mind, and I've been in the B2C and B2B range, and that is the foundation of all good social strategies. There's two. Fish where there are fish, and use all your best first date manners. Now, what does that mean? That means fish where there are fish. You have to go back to the basics. You have to first, before we can, we're a startup, we're just now launching, we have a fully clean slate. We got to really think about, before we just dive in there and get on all the channels or just start going for it, we got to think about, all right, who are our users? Who is our target demographic? And where are they? Where are they hanging out? And what are they up to? So whether you're B2C or B2B, this is the core foundation of what you have to think about first. So for example, if all of your, if your audience and your demographic hangs out mostly on Facebook but doesn't do anything on Twitter, no point in trying to start out there and just build a bunch of stuff in Twitter if no one's going to be there. So startup, try to be lean, save time, all that good stuff. So fish where there are fish. Think about your audience. Think about where they hang out and what they like to do. And that's how you catch them. The second is using all your best first date manners. So what does that mean? You're a good first date. You are a very good listener. So you're listening, and you're not just hearing what they're saying, but you're actually taking what they're saying and making it actionable. Also on first date, you wouldn't necessarily, it would be presumptuous of you, right, to ask to go up to the apartment if say you hadn't even taken them out to dinner first, right? So you can't go for the hard sell. You can't go right away and just be like, oh, here's the hard sell and what we're doing. The best thing you can do is show them your value, show them what's great about you, and you do that by being genuine, and then that's kind of how you build a relationship with your consumer. So that's the foundation that I've used in my career, and that's the foundation that I'm using for Social Radar. And onto the plan. And this is just bullet pointy and boring, but our plan, making a schedule and sticking to it, so the basics, using Buffer and Hootsuite and all those good things, deciding where we're putting our marketing efforts, and then actually sticking to it. Treating each channel as an individual entity. So maybe that Instagram photo that is really awesome and very engaging for the Instagram audience doesn't necessarily make sense on LinkedIn, where it would make more sense to post stuff about newsworthy items or an article that's really interesting for your space. We're socializing customer service. I think the best thing that any company can do is be very transparent in how they're communicating and engaging with their users. And so anytime there's an issue, we have run a fairly small beta. Anytime an issue, someone tweets, someone Facebook's always being active and responding and really saying, hey, yeah, you're right. That feature is totally goofed up. We got to fix that. Thank you so much for letting us know. That definitely goes a long way. Staying active. So, paying attention to what's going on out there on the web and what the community that you're a part of is really saying. Engage, even if it's not a hard sell on what you're doing, but maybe, like we're in the social space, we're talking about what's fresh and new in social media. Maybe that's not necessarily going to sell our product, but it puts us out there and it helps really build a brand. The next thing is finding a really good balance between organic and paid social media. So as a startup, there's limited money. We're total overhead. We're not making any money right now. So really being able to understand, when is the right time to try to create engaging content that's organic, and when is the right time to really boost it up and put a few dollars behind some of our marketing content. Keeping it fresh and fun. So even if you're in the most boring industry, I used to work for Blackboard, and that was education. Totally not boring, but it's not necessarily like BuzzFeed where you're looking at GIFs and memes all day. But you can still keep it fresh and you can keep it fun and have a really positive attitude. That passion always shines through in all the social media. And the last one is adapt. So we haven't launched yet. I have all these great plans, but who knows? We might launch, and I might be totally wrong about some of the assumptions that I've made or some of the research that I've done on our target demographic. And the best thing you can do is, if you see something's not working, adapt, change, try something new. There's no harm in doing any of that. So what we have understood of our demographic, or at least what we're thinking it is really like that connected generation, that connected group of people who are very social savvy, highly engaged on all social networks, people who are just generally social beings, like very social, very socially active, go to a lot of events, those type of things. So for us, we're starting out on a lot of channels. And our main focus is Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google+, Vimeo, and YouTube. And this is why scheduling and keeping a plan is so key, because sometimes you can totally get confused. But we're using Facebook kind of as a catch-all. So all kinds of content fits on Facebook, right? You see ads sometimes, you see like blog posts, you see funny pictures. So Facebook, all. Same with Google+. With Twitter, we really think Twitter is like the best place for news, relevant articles, blogs. Just kind of, if you guys think about the way that you use Twitter, trying to just quick, punchy, like one-liners that people can really quick, either decide whether they want to read that article or not. Tumblr, again, we're like the connected generation, people who are kind of on the leading edge of tech and social, and that's who we think we're targeting. Tumblr is definitely gaining a lot of momentum in the social space. And so we're using Tumblr. If you're familiar with Tumblr or not familiar, it's definitely like a younger demographic, but it's a very active community. And so we are using Tumblr to really show off our company culture. So we have a company culture blog, and it has nothing to do with our product. It has nothing to do with industry. It pretty much is just silly photos and stupid things that we're kind of doing behind the scenes. Just funny things, interesting, meet the team, find out what our team is all about, just so that you can kind of get to know our company and understand our brand voice a little bit better. LinkedIn, pretty self-explanatory. We're sticking with business-related news, anything that has to do with networking, those type of things. Instagram, obviously, visual content. That's so key right now. And what I understand is that people are engaging more often with visual content than just with text. If you think about like your consumption, or the way you consume media, usually you're probably a picture will catch your eye faster than words, unless those words are really obscene or something like that. Like I said, Google+, and then obviously Vimeo and YouTube are both video channels. Vimeo is kind of like the hipster-y, like artsier, as you guys I'm sure know. So we're just trying to do a catch-all of all the videos. So I'm going to show you, so our voice, this is really huge and is building your social strategy, but we have two different blogs. We have the company blog, which is blog.socialradar.com. Definitely check it out, subscribe. We'll be posting a lot of cool stuff there. But this is really where we're going to be posting about more stuff about the company and how the product that we now have that we think is revolutionary is really going to impact your life. And then again, if you see underneath, under the radar, I try to cut two blogs in half. But that's our Tumblr page. You can see we had a lunch and some crazy things happening there. Pictures in front of our wall, some sweet swag that we're giving away, some of our favorite songs that we've been listening to, just so you can kind of get a feel for what we're about. So when you're trusting us to join our application and really use our product, you can also know who's behind it, who's also making that happen. And then in addition to that, we're all, like I said, visual content is so important. So I'm giving you guys a little content sneak peek. So with Social Radar, there's so many different use cases, whether you're using an alert, or you're using the map feature to find your friends, or maybe for example, if you look here in the bottom right, you see #SmileStare. So if anyone's ever trying to use those social fail moments that we've all had, right? Where someone walks up to you and like, hey, how are you doing? How are you? And you're like, oh my God, I'm just gonna keep. So I have no idea who you are. So we're just gonna sit here, nod, and pretend like I know who you are, even though I don't. And so with Social Radar, you can have alerts, and you will be able to understand. You'll be like, oh God, yes, that's right. Now I know where Shane is from. Now I know where Steph is from. The same thing goes for this one here in the bottom left, which I think is pretty funny. Oh my gosh, on a date with a new guy, and my ex just passed me at the bar. I wish I had a tracking device. Help. maybe not everyone in this room, but for me, I'm 24. Sometimes, you run into people you really don't want to see, but how great would it be if you're in a bar and you get an alert, or you're immediately notified, oh man, someone that I really don't want to see is there, so I'm going to get away from that. Next one, like connecting flight. If you travel for business, sometimes you get stuck. You have like a 2-hour layover in, Iowa or something. You're like, oh man, like what am I going to do? The craziest thing is when you're like, wow, I'm in Philly. Like I'm in the Philly airport for 2 hours, and someone will comment on your Facebook like a week later, like, you were at the Philly airport last week. So was I. Like I was also on American Airlines. And you're like, God, how crazy is that? How great would it be to be able to have social radar so that you can meet up with these people, and you don't just have your burger from Ruby Tuesdays Express by yourself, but you can have it with a friend. And then the last one is, it's so annoying, and you're trying to meet your friends. They said you're going to happy hour, but no one's texting you back. You're kind of late, and you're like, God, where are they? I can't freaking find you guys anywhere. And everyone's like, we're here, where are you? And like no one is replying as to where you are. Easily just pull out the map and oh, okay, they're at the Green Turtle, or they're at, what's that sweet beer bar somewhere?
Beer World?
Beer World.
We
Yes,
just passed Beer World on the way here. I don't know where that is.
Not from Baltimore, but that was really cool. And so what we're doing is we're playing into all those scenarios, those awkward social moments that we all kind of have. And these will be actually some of our ads. So sneak peek, don't out me, but this is some of the paid ads that I was talking about, and then also a lot of our Instagram content. And then I was going to show you